My life, your life. Heart disease, marriage, suicide, grieving, debt. Where will I be in 10 years? Will I get this speech done in time? What does all this have in common? Stress. As students, we can experience stress at a dangerous level. Good morning, my name is Derek Kenning, and today I'm going to be discussing the causes of stress, how it can affect our lives, along with some ways for us to be able to manage those stressors. As I mentioned earlier in my opening statements, we have many causes of stress. Finances could be included as a large reason of student stressors. Many students have the constant worries of how their schooling will be paid. We think about this all the time. Most of us must take out loans, which will affect our lives much later, or even now, where interest will start accruing once you open up those loans, or you can find certain loans where the interest won't open up until after you have finished that program in school. Or we must take a job or multiple jobs just to be able to help ourselves get through college. Not all of us have the opportunity for family members and things like that to be able to help us pay for these stressors in our life. The net cost of college is a very stressful situation. Newsday defines cost as the amount of tuition, room and board, fees, books, and supplies, minus what students may receive in those aids, grants, and scholarships, which we all don't get because we all have those amazing grades. This is a lot for most students beginning their lives to be on their own for the very first time ever in their life. According to Jack White of USA Today, a college knows it can charge $40,000 for tuition because they know that the government will allow those students to borrow up to $40,000 for tuition. So if the government stopped allowing this or brought down those costs, then that would in turn bring down the tuition cost overall. And that would make it drop tremendously. With the many causes of stress around us, it is important to recognize the effects as well to try to avoid those dangerous outcomes. Some of these stressors could include the deadly combination of how our academic results can affect our emotional health. The failure of a class, you may have to pay back that tuition. I know for me, for example, if I fail my class or don't make a certain grade being in the military with financial assistance, I'll have to pay up to $750 back per class. So this is a very big stress on me. That $750 could be used for my family, for things that I need in my house, everyday things that we may need that could help out my family. This could lead to me being upset, in turn causing an emotional distress. Emotional health problems could lead to the worst possible outcomes, such as the ultimate sacrifice of committing suicide. The American Foundation for Suicide Prevention, otherwise known as the ASFP, states that up to 1,100 suicides occur every year on college campuses. This is a huge number that we need to get down. Stress can be managed for students if they know the right steps to follow. Not only as students, but as people, we must be able to manage stress and the ability to maintain control, even in the events bring up extra demands. Dr. Gloria Delcro of the Mind Body Medical Institute in Boston recently tested a 6-week stress management program with up to 63 Harvard students, which we all know are very stressed. In a 90-minute session, the students were taught deep breathing, relaxation tips, and techniques. They also engaged in discussion of the negative stress cycle. The students in the course scored significantly lower than the other students on measures of stress and anxiety. And they continued to exhibit less stress for over a year and a half after the course had ended. This was a huge success, and the stats show that in the numbers. Taking a break from everyday life of a student can be hard to do, but it's very important to give ourselves that break. I know personally for me, if I'm studying too long, I'll get stressed out. I'll make sure that I take a break every now and then. And we would look at this at the bigger picture. If you're in school and you're taking too many classes back to back, that can add up stress to you. So take a little bit of time off. Maybe work your job, cushion up your pockets a little bit to help with those stressors, the financial stresses that we talked about earlier, things like that, and then go back to school. Just make sure that you don't take too long a time off, then you won't want to go back. But a break is always needed. It help you concentrate, and in turn will help you with the overall of graduating college. Before we can try to minimize our stress, we have to understand what caused it and how it could affect us in the overall. Today we have learned what causes our stress, such as finances, how it can affect our emotional health, and certain ways we can relieve our stressors, such as deep breathing and discussions with your peers, things like that. Sometimes you just want to talk about the overall goal, which is to end that stress. Remember, my life, your life, don't put it on cruise control, take the wheels and pedals back. And I wish you good luck. Thank you very much, and y'all have a good day.